Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Beth, here to help you fulfill your potential in meditation. As most of you know, I don't have just one method that I teach to everybody, like one size fits all. Instead, I much prefer to teach people one-on-one. And the reason is that you're all different. So please use these videos as a guideline, and if there's anything that isn't quite working for you or anything that doesn't quite fit, then be in touch and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you one-on-one. Today's video is about deepening and sharpening the perception of anicca, or impermanence, when we are practicing Vipassana. Now, as we've already said quite a few times, when we're practicing Vipassana, the object of our attention is the momentary arising and passing away of ultimate reality, of materiality mentality, nama-rupa. And as we contemplate the arising and passing away of that ultimate reality, we want to be focused on the three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta: impermanence, suffering, and non-self. Now, as our Vipassana practice deepens, we want our perception of these three characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, and non-self, to become deeper and sharper. So today I'm going to speak about how we can deepen and sharpen our perception of anicca, impermanence, using a wonderful framework that we find in the Pali text called the toes. Now, what does this mean, the toes? Well, toe is a suffix in Pali grammar that we put on the end of the word to make it an adjective. And so in the Pali text we find 14 different kinds of what we will call anicca toe. It means adjectives that mean the same thing as anicca, or adjectives that give us a slightly different way to see this quality of anicca. To make it clear, let's take some examples. One example would be palokato. This is a Pali word that means crumbling. And so instead of just seeing all of nama-rupa, all of ultimate reality, as being impermanent, instead we can reflect on it as being palokato, crumbling. Another example would be tava kali kato. Tava kali kato means only existing for a moment. And so instead of just reflecting as we usually do, anicca, anicca, impermanent, impermanent, we can reflect as tava kali kato, only existing for a moment. Another example would be marana dhamma to. This means it has the nature of dying. And so instead of reflecting as just impermanent anicca, we can reflect on all of nama-rupa as momentarily dying. Now, as I said, there are 14 of these anicca to, different ways to reflect on this quality of impermanence. And I won't go through them all here. I'll put that information on my website. But what I would suggest is that we actually do the practice. Now, when we do the practice, we want to take each of these toe and we want to practice to the stage of absorption. So not just superficially reflecting, but rather taking each toe at a time and dedicating time to it until we can fully absorb our minds in that characteristic, seeing all of nama and rupa according to that characteristic. So that's what I have to say today about deepening and sharpening our perception of anicca, impermanence, using the toes. If there's anything that's unclear to you or anything you're unsure about, then be in touch with me and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you one-on-one. But now is the time to get off of those screens, get onto the cushions, actually do the practice. See if you can see how these toes are applying to your own nama and rupa in your own Vipassana practice. There's a remainderless ending of all suffering, so let's not waste time. As most of you know, I do all of my work on a donation basis, so I encourage you to support me either through Patreon or through my website so that I can continue to make these videos. Thank you so much for your support. Wishing you the best with your meditation.